Hello YouTube, I'm Toby, and this right here, I think it's my new test bench, but let's open it and find out. So this is my new test bench. We have some structural pieces right here, a couple more underneath here. We have what looks like some more structural pieces, power buttons, and over here got some feet, I think, and some long pieces right here. Great, we got all the pieces out. Got some, I believe these are motherboard standoffs. These must be for something. We have something here. I think this might be something to do with the PCIe cards. I don't have a clue what these are. I have even less of a clue what this is. And we got a tool, some LEDs in the power button and the feet again. The 2 long rods and 4 short rods. And we have the, I'm assuming this is the assembly guide. I think this may be some kind of a part description, but I don't have a clue what they say, unfortunately. Now, I did buy this on AliExpress. It was fairly cheap. I don't remember the exact price, but I obviously bought it, so it can't have been that expensive. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get an idea of how to put this thing together. I believe I am making progress. So there are these little corner-like pieces. They've got a little break in them, which means they go into the long one right here, where you can slide them around, and then the other one right here just goes on just like that. And then we take some of these here and we screw them on. So it seems fairly simple, but I'm sure I'm going to find a way to mess this up somehow. I'm assuming that is what it's supposed to be like. Honestly, not really sure. All the instructions seem to be in Chinese, although there are some actually English words here, so maybe my big brain can figure this out, maybe not. So far so good. I've got the 4 small one on the first big one. Still gotta put the the last big one on. Now there are these plastic pieces included. I only think there were 3, or either I may have lost one already, but I'm hoping there were only 3. Now I haven't bolted the 2 middle ones all the way down yet. I'll need to adjust these for the motherboard when we get to that. The corner ones I have bolted down, but now it's time to get the big one on. Now I did get the frame finished. The problem I'm having now is that I actually have already messed up. You see, behind these little plastic covers with the holes in them that are supposed to fit the motherboard standoffs, there is a problem, and that is there is no this is just sort of a screw extender. I actually need to take the thing apart again and place a screw underneath so that it sticks up right here through the holes. So that is a good 10 minutes work that's gonna have to be redone. Alright, so right now I'm putting these little screws in here, and the whole thing is sort of trying to fall apart. This is definitely not as easy as I thought it would be. Alright, so I did decide to go with the long screws in the end. I'm thinking this might be the easiest thing to do. And now I have to put this thing back together again, and believe me, it may look easy, and I thought it was a lot easier as well when I first started this little project, but they tend to bind in the weirdest ways, and they're just sort of difficult to work with, because this whole structure seems to be wanting to do its own thing. But I will come back to you once I'm ready to plug it and set the motherboard standoffs on. Well, I did not think this through at all. Um, I've definitely messed something up. Something I should have thought of before is that when I try to screw these on, the screws are just going to spin around. I am not really sure what screws or whatever I'll need. These instructions really aren't making a whole lot of sense here. That's one thing I'd love for the guys who made this, is to include some better instructions, because this isn't really making much sense to me right now. Alright, so far so good. I've got the motherboard on and I've got the PCIe thingy bracket on here. Seems to be holding the graphics card somewhat stable. I have my doubts the motherboard is on as it should be, but unfortunately the instructions in the booklet, well, they're not really clear on anything, so I am at this point I'm basically winging it just to see where I can go from here, but I'm gonna see if I can fit the rest of the stuff on here. Alright, it's complete. The whole experience here wasn't really as good as I expected. Honestly, the whole thing is, well, it's probably some of my my skills that's making it this wobbly, but got the motherboard here, it's probably screwed in wrong. Got the graphics cards, that's stable. The power supply right here is also kind of stable, and I've got my SSDs and they're stable as well. Got the LEDs and the power button right there. But in all fairness, yeah, sure, it works as a test bench, but if you have to switch something out, I'm afraid it'll be a bit harder than you might expect it to. Also, building it was well, it wasn't that hard, it was just annoying, seeing as these are very grindy, and also the instructions weren't really clear on what went where. But it's done, and it's, well, I honestly haven't tested it yet. There's a new CPU under here. It's an AM3 Phenom 3-core that I'll be testing for next week. I just got this today and figured I might make a video on it, but that's my new test bench. Honestly, meh. That's pretty much all I can say about it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.